Hello guys and girls, we are up here by the circuit. I've got some bad news actually. They've cancelled the endurance race for this Sunday. It's Tuesday now, and they've decided to cancel the race because of the heat. We're having our hot temperatures that we normally have, but we're having them much earlier in the year. Normally June now it's not too bad, it's normally been in the 30s. We're pretty consistently being in the 40s, early 40s for the last week or so. They're a bit worried about people. There's been a very low entry for the event because people are concerned about the heat, I think. So it's a shame. Of course, not everybody is able to train in the heat. So, you know, I've been going out in the heat, even though it feels uncomfortable. Like today, I mean, it's hot, but you know, your body acclimatises to it. So you'll be okay. But of course, if you're working in an office and just get to train maybe in the evenings when it's cooler, then of course being out during the day is going to feel very, very hot. So I just thought I'd check in with you guys. I'm out on a training ride today, Tuesday. Sunday, it was very hot on Sunday, and I had quite a few things to do. So I just went on the indoor trainer on Sunday, and I did what they call an FTP test, which is you build up and then you ride for 20 minutes. Carl will know all about this. Carl's just done an FTP test, Carl E. So I did an FTP test. I wasn't feeling amazing, I must say, on Sunday, but went okay. I was hoping for 200 watts. So an FTP test is to test what you can put out in terms of power, wattage, for 1 hour. So you can either do 8 minutes, or you can do 20 minutes, or you can do 1 hour. If you do 8 minutes or 20 minutes, they use a calculation to work out what your FTP is. And I did a 20-minute FTP test on Sunday, and that put my FTP at just under 200. I was aiming for 200, but I ended up with 190. Unfortunately, the indoor trainer moved while I was pushing hard, so unfortunately I lost a bit of power at one point. So I think I probably could have done 200 reasonably well. I was over 200 most of the time. It was just that short period when I had to adjust the bike to get back where it had moved. So anyway, 190. So the computer then recalculates all your zones and everything, all your heart rate zones and all your limits. So the higher your FTP, the more power you can put out for that hour. All your zones change, all your power zones change, all your heart rate zones change, everything changes to keep up with your increased ability and your increased fitness. So everything's sort of moved up a bit on the computer, all the calculations. So for me to stay, for instance, for me to stay in my what they call sweet spot zone, which is around 80% of your maximum, so 80% of your FTP, is now more difficult because everything's moved up a little bit because you're getting fitter. So that's good, that's working well. I wanted to show you some new little bits. I mentioned this the other day, but I wanted to show you some new little bits of tech that I've got specifically for the race. One is this speed sleeve. So it's a very simple thing. It's just attached to the frame via a Velcro underneath, and then you've got another 2 Velcros. This very stretchy, wide Velcro. You can see the Velcro underneath there on the frame, attaching it to the frame. So it's attached to the frame. Then you've got this very stretchy Velcro here, and then you've got another not so stretchy, almost stiff Velcro, just to kind of lock off over the top. And so as you can see, I've got my gel and a muesli bar in there today, and you can just reach and grab them and slide them out. So you just slide them out, and obviously the elastic just crimps back up on whatever's left in there. So it means that your food's right in front of you. You haven't got to be reaching around, because I'm finding that I really need to have my food between every sort of 40 minutes and an hour. If I go over an hour, my power drops right off, my energy level drops right off. So I've got to hit that 40 to 1 hour all the time. So having it right in front of me there is a constant reminder. And during the race, I'll set my watch to go off every hour. So if I hear that alarm, I know I've got to be eating then, must eat at that time. I've got the time on the computer, of course, but if you're concentrating on something else, if it's a difficult downhill or whatever, it's surprisingly quick how 10 minutes will go by, you don't realise, and then you've gone over your hour. That's one thing. And then these are called samurai swords, and they go in the end of the handlebars like bar ends, and it's for repairing holes in your tubeless tyres. So this side is the actual worm, which you put in through the hole and then pull the tool out. So that's the worm, and there's a worm on there, as you can see. I've just got the plastic on protecting the actual worm itself. So there's a worm there ready to stab through. If I get a big hole in my tyre, you ream out. I'll show you the reamer on the other side. You ream it out, and then you plug it with the worm, just like you would a car tyre or a tractor tyre or whatever. And on this side, it's just got like a twist expand system. This side's the actual reamer to ream the hole to the right size. So if you don't ream the hole, if you just stuff that worm in, it can tear the carcass of the tyre. So you must ream it, even if it's a smaller hole. You ream it, and then you just put them in, give them a twist, and they lock inside the handlebar. So that means that with my little kit I've got on the back here, which I've got a multi-tool, a little plastic box in here with more worms for repairing the holes in the tyres, and I've got my tyre levers, etc. So I've got like a little plastic box in here at the bottom with all my tyre stuff. I've got my reamer in here now, and I've got my worm applicator in here for any bigger holes. My pump is here attached to the frame, and that does have a little simple gauge on it, so you can gauge your pressure. And then you've got the specialised multi-tool which fits here on the bottle cage, so that's actually fitted to the bike all the time. So you've got a multi-tool here which fits every single fixing on the bike, so that's fitted there all the time on the bike. Oops. So multi-tool there. The only reason I've got another multi-tool in here, and I may change that, is that the multi-tool I've got in here has got a chain breaker for splitting a chain. If you damage a chain or you break a chain, you can split the chain and rejoin it. So that's the only reason I've got that in there, and I might actually do away with that and have a proper chain breaker in there instead. So I'll have all my tyre stuff, my chain breaker, and I have got a digital tyre gauge in there as well at the moment, just to set the tyres properly. But I mean, in the race you don't need that, you just need to be able to pump them up and get going. So in theory, if I get any kind of puncture, I've got the equipment with me to repair that. I've got these tubeless tyres, have got fluid inside anyway, there's latex fluid running around inside, and so if you get any thorn holes or anything, it just repairs them as you go, so you don't have to worry about any of that. It's just the bigger holes. If you get a really big thorn or a big nail or something go through, and the latex doesn't seal it up, as the latex comes out through the hole, if it doesn't seal it, then you need to stop and put a worm in. So that should deal with that. So tyres on the ends, the other part of the tyres in here, either the little multi-tool with a chain breaker or an actual chain breaker in here. 2 bottles, water bottle, isotonic bottle, and then I've got my speed sleeve on there, which is going to have all my food, so my gels and any bars I have will be in the speed sleeve. And I'm also thinking about putting a little battery pack here, and running out of that, running my GoPro and potentially my computer or maybe my mobile phone, perhaps running those out of the battery pack so that's permanently charging, because they give you charging facilities every night. And what I was thinking of doing, my little portable battery pack has got 2 sockets on the top, so I was thinking of just giving them that every time when I get back from racing. Give them that, charge that up, and then that can charge my my equipment overnight, whatever I need, so it can be in the tent, because you're not going to have power at every tent, you're just going to have power put somewhere. So if I charge that up, and then that can charge whatever else needs to be charged, and then I'll maybe have that in the speed sleeve on the bike as a backup with a couple of cables in the back of my jersey or wherever, just for the phone, maybe my watch, whatever. I'll have the cables with me, so in case something runs out of power I can just power it up off that. So that's how we're looking. So we're getting very close to being fully set up on the bike. It's a shame we couldn't have a dry run this weekend at the endurance race, but I guess it's the right thing to do. People collapsing, and that's not so funny. As we know, we've got my Krieger backpack which I'm taking with me, so that's what I've got on my back, and my first aid kit and all my bits and pieces will be in here, so all my well-being things. And I'm just going to pick up a very lightweight like shower jacket. I found one, good one, the other day locally. Just a very lightweight, crumples up almost to nothing, and just pop that in there as well. So if you happen to have a shower up in Galicia, up in the north, you've just got something to pop over yourself and keep dry, just for the few minutes that it might rain. So, well-being, all my well-being in the pack. At least 1 litre, maybe 2 litres of fluid in the pack, and then I'll have my 2 bottles, this bottle and the bottle on the bike, and then everything to do with the bike is on the bike. All the tools and the spares and bits and pieces will all be on the bike. So that's how we're going. Alright guys, well, I'm going to try and put a lap in up here now, even though we're not racing on Sunday. It's been a good test for fitness, so I'm going to do a lap here now and see how that goes. And I will be doing a video for you guys very soon with the diet, number 2 of the series of 4. So I'll be talking to you about diet. I think a lot of people are interested to hear about that. Okay guys, I shall speak to you all soon. Hope everyone's having a very good day. Speak to you soon. Bye.